Hello and welcome to the 9th episode of Ninnys News. I'm going to read 2 more poems from the poem contest, and I'm going to show you an in-depth look at the new Stamperia collections. Diane is not with me again today. Last week we just couldn't work it into our schedules while she was on shift, and this time she has an appointment, so she'll be back next week, I'm sure. Poem contest. So if you've been watching the Ninnys News for quite some time, you'll know all about our poem contest. I'll just run through it really briefly. We're doing a poem contest. The poem needs to be about Ninnys napkins. You can submit your poem to info@ninnysnapkins.com. The deadline to submit is May 4th, and we'll pick 3 winners on May 11th, and they will receive a mini mystery box, a regular mystery box, and first place will be a jumbo mystery box. And also, if we read your poem on Ninnys News or on one of our social media platforms, you'll receive a coupon for 10% off your next order. So yeah, still a few weeks left in the poem contest. We've had some really great entries so far, but there's still lots of time to get yours in. And don't forget, you can submit more than 1 poem. So today I have 2 poems here for you. This first one is from Karen. So thank you for your submission, Karen. In the heart of the town where crafters convene lies a shop of great wonder, so quaint and serene. Ninnys Napkins by name, a haven for creation, a place where imagination meets jubilation. With walls lined in patterns, colors galore, napkins aplenty from ceiling to floor. Decoupage dreamers from near and from far flock to this workshop, the door's always ajar. Come in, says Ninny, with a smile so wide. Discover the art that we hold inside. Connect your mind with supplies so fine. Leave the mundane world, let your spirit shine. Workshops aplenty, they teach with such flair. The snip of the scissors, the glue in the air. Tutorials streaming for those near and far. Ninnys Napkins, where all artists are stars. And there in the corner, with soft eyes so bright, Onyx the pup, a heartwarming sight. Guardian of napkins, a friend to all guests, his presence a joy as he quietly rests. So here's to Ninnys, a shop like no other, where creativity blooms and passions uncover. A community staple, a crafter's delight. Ninnys Napkins with a heart so bright. Great job, Karen. Thank you again for your submission. Okay, and the second poem that I have for you today is from Jeanette. Thank you, Jeanette. Ninnys Napkins, come inside, unfold the beauty with many designs. From corner to corner with every last fold, Ninnys Napkins are the best ever sold. They don't just have napkins, they have other things too, like rice and mulberry and sealer too. They run out really fast, their products sell quick, but before we all know it, their shelves are stocked thick. So when doing a project and there's things you may need, just go to Ninnys Napkins, you'll always be pleased. Pleased to find products, there's more than a few. There's stuff there for me and all your friends too. So get your project ready. Don't worry about what you haven't got, because you know Ninnys Napkins will always have a lot to get started from beginning to the end. After you're done your project, Ninnys will be your best friend. Okay, thank you, Jeanette. And so, as I mentioned, Karen and Jeanette will both receive coupons for 10% off their next order at ninnysnapkins.com, or even in store if they happen to be local. New Stamperia arrived this morning. I say this morning, today is Wednesday, but you're watching this on Saturday, so arrived on Wednesday. We have the new Brocante Antiques collection. as well as the new Sea Land collection, or the revamped Sea Land collection. So now I'm going to take you to our table where I've got everything laid out and give you a close-up of all the new products. From the Brocante Antiques collection, we've got the background selections pad. Some really beautiful designs here. So these are all more patterns, less focal images. So that's really nice, and that comes in both the 8-inch pad and the 12-inch pad. So these are the 8-inch, and then there's the 12-inch under there. Then the Brocante Antiques, this is the other pad, the paper pad, with more focal images. And these are all double-sided, so every page has designs front and back. Look at that, it's beautiful. I love this lamp. Look how nice that looks. Okay, and so again, that one, 8-inch and 12-inch. And then we also have, this isn't new, but I did bring in some of the Sea Land pads because the Sea Land collection has been revamped. So if you need a 12-inch pad to go with that, we've got this stencil here. Isn't that really cute with all the little shells? And this is one of your 12 centimeter by 25 centimeter stencils. 20 by 25 centimeter stencil, which I think is about an 8 by 10. Then the decorative chips. This one's obviously from Sea Land. Cool lighthouse and hot air balloons, some seagulls, and some little kind of coastal houses. And then from Brocante Antiques, get the teddy bears and a clock and some birds. So those are super cute. Now, rice papers. These are the A6 sets of rice papers. So you get 8 printed rice papers in the pack. These are backgrounds, and you can see there the 8 different designs that you get in this pack. So that one is Sea Land. This one is from Brocante Antiques. They're very cool. Really cool for your smaller journals, smaller decoupage projects. Okay, and then the A4 papers. So, this light above my table is very bright. Okay, so we've got this rice paper. That's really pretty. And that is DFSA 4851. Also from Brocante Antiques. Some cool plates and cutlery. Here's the teddy bear again. Teddy bear. Teddy bears. So cool. This one's also from Brocante Antiques. Really cool clocks and pocket watches. Really cool. This looks like an old catalog page from like an old Sears catalog. This one's my favorite. If you've never been able to master crackle glaze, here you go. Just get a rice paper that already has it. So pretty. This one's also really nice. It's a cool pattern. Lots of cool stuff going on there. And this one's from Sea Land. Love this with the hot air balloons. Oh, and there's a sailboat there that you can't really see. And now if you're participating in our challenge, in our prompt challenge, this Sea Land collection is really great for the Explore portion of the challenge. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch our last episode of Ninnys News. Like the sailboat that can be, you know, explore. The hot air balloons, it can be exploring. Oh, this one with the compass. You know, so if you've been struggling with that challenge, if you've been struggling with something for explore, and then tropical could be, you know, a palm tree, or even this, I mean, it's a beach, could be tropical. So that's really cool there with the lighthouse. And it says, you can find yourself where the wind, I think it says where the wind meets the water. Now, rub-on transfers. So these are 10 centimeters by 21 centimeters. I apologize, I don't have the inches offhand, but it's about 4 by 8. So yeah, if you'll remember from a previous Ninnys news that we showed you how to use rub-on transfers. These are the little guys from Stamperia. This one is also from Brocante Antiques, the teddy bears again. My best friend, Fluffy Bear Hug. Another from the Brocante Antiques. Oh, I love this with the little bird on the teacups. Roses, spoons, so pretty. This is from Sealand. Very cool, so that could also work there with the compass. And find adventure, spirit, follow your spirit. So that would be really good for the explore portion of the challenge. And the last rub-on, this one would work really well as well, from Sealand. Travel, right there. Airmail. Cool, very cool. What else have we got here? Molds, that's my favorite right now. Okay, so we've got one soft mold. And if you're not familiar with soft molds, they still work with pretty much everything that the silicone molds work with. There's kind of a more economical version of the molds. So their price point is about half of what the silicone molds are, but they're a little bit more difficult to pop out and maybe not as detailed, but they're still really great molds. And you can still use them with resin and clay and even chocolate and candy. You wouldn't use these with hot glue though, that's the only thing. So if you like to use hot glue, definitely stick to the silicone. But yeah, so we've got a lighthouse and some more of these little houses, gulls or birds, and more of the hot air balloons. Very cool. Definitely I will be buying this one. Look how big these shells are. So a while ago they did a smaller mold, the A6 mold. These are A5. And they did the little shells, which I bought right away. And now they have the big shells, so I'm super excited about that. Love that mold. This one is from Brocante. It's got like clocks and gears and dials. These are pretty cool. This one's frames. This will be very popular because you can, oh look, it's even got the little corners. This is really good for if you want to decorate a book cover or really anything. I mean, that's very versatile. And look how many, you're getting two big square frames, and then 3, 4, and then I guess even these ones are like little tiny frames, or maybe they're not even frames. They could be just like an embellishment. And then these cool little corners and little flourishes and stuff there. Look at that little corner guy. That's really useful. Also, I really, really love this one. Love this, the corals. And if the nice thing is if you're doing clay or you're doing resin, you can, easily, these are thin, so they'll easily kind of bend around. So if you need to wrap them around something like a frame, love the seahorse and the starfish, very cool. That will be getting added to my collection. That's really neat. It's pretty shallow, which is really good for a lacy mold. I think that's what you really want. Nice shallow. That's really neat. This one's not shallow at all. It's very thick. Some more flowers, kind of peonies or roses, some flourishes, leaves. You get a lot in this mold. Okay, that's it for the molds. Now, what have we got left here? Ephemera. So these are kind of thinner, like a cardstock. They've got a really slight kind of, not a sheen, but almost like a sparkle to them. This is from Brocante Antiques. And so you got the bear and the camera and a bird. Then we have the one for Sealand. There's the seahorse. I love him. Oh, another seahorse here by the looks of it. Some pearls. Big starfish. The I want to say steering wheel, but I know that's not right. Let me know in the comments what this is called, because I'm not going to remember. Then we have the wooden shapes or wooden frames. These are A5 size. These are quite a bit thicker and they pop out of these frames. Really good for putting on a canvas to kind of add some 3D details, or on a box or a reverse canvas, or even on a decoupage project. And the Brocante Antiques. Very nice. And finally, I believe these are the last of the new items to come in. Die cuts. So again, these are a bit thicker. They're not so thick as the wood frames, but they're not so thin as the ephemera. Oh, and I forgot to mention the ephemera have an adhesive backing, so you can peel off the backing and they are sticky. Although I will admit it's a little tricky, but if you have trouble, you can just as easily glue them down. These, the die cuts on the other hand, do not have an adhesive backing. They do need to be glued down, but they're more of a cardboard. And they've got sounds of the ocean, they've got a compass, so you're going to get completely different images in here than what you would in the ephemera. Maybe not completely different, but they're not the same. You're not getting the exact same thing. Oh, and the Brocante Antiques. Look at that cool lamp. I love that lamp. It's like I guess a Tiffany style lamp, stained glass lamp. Oh, that's not even the one. It's this one up here that I really like. It looks like you get that one too. Very nice. And some roses. And some hat boxes. Some really cool decorative hat boxes. Can I see some different stuff in here? I get these little plaques. Old objects with new life. Roses. There's a clock. I could open these up and show them to you, but I think sometimes a surprise is nicer. I mean, you get the general idea that there's a teddy bear. Old places have soul. Cool. Okay. So there, these are all available now on our website, ninnysnapkins.com. So, two very cool new collections there. I think they're both going to be very popular. Let me know in the comments which collection is your favorite. Do you like the Brocante Antiques, or are you more of a sea land person? They're both obviously very beautiful collections, but each one is going to speak to different people. Or maybe you like both. And which products are your favorite? What do what's your go-to? Do you like the rub-ons? Do you like the rice papers or the molds? I know right now for me, I'm doing a lot of stuff with molds, so that's definitely the first thing I'm going to be grabbing. But of course for decoupage, I really like the rice papers as well. The rub-ons are also great. It's all great stuff. We love Stamperia, and if you're a scrapbooker, I mean, me personally, I think Stamperia makes the most beautiful scrapbook designs. So those are all available now on our website. You can go over to ninnysnapkins.com, and I will put a link in the description box below to both of those collections. Yeah, and I mentioned while we were scanning over, I mentioned our prompt challenge. So last week on the 8th episode of Ninnys News, we discussed a prompt challenge. We haven't had really any submissions yet because it's actually only been a few days since we announced it. So I think a lot of people are still working on their projects. But Creative Katie, Karen Birchall, part of our design team, has done an art journal page using the tropical prompt. Yeah, so I'll show that here now. So, you don't have to use both of the prompts. The prompts were tropical and explore. You should use them both together in one project, but you can submit 2 different projects. I know that some people have said that they're struggling a little bit with the explore prompt. Instantly I thought of maps, and maps are easy to find. You can find them in old books, but you can also probably find map napkins. I don't think we have any right now, but rice papers, yeah, there are lots of different maps, or you can use compasses. So the compasses from the new Sea Land collection. Yeah, and then tropical, of course, I think tropical is a really easy one. You could do tropical birds, tropical flowers, tropical paradise. You could do an island. You could do tropical fish, so a coral reef. Lots of options there for you. And as I mentioned in the 8th episode, you can do anything. It can be decoupage, art journaling, mixed media. It can be scrapbooking. Anything. And then you're going to post your projects on our Customers of Ninnys Napkins Facebook group with the hashtag Ninnys Challenge. And then on April 20th, we will pick a winner to receive a mini mystery box. So it's just kind of a fun little challenge that we're doing. And I already have an idea of something that I want to do for May. So stay tuned for that. I've got a cool challenge slash contest, I think, that we're going to present for May. Yeah, keep your poem contest submissions coming, and now you've got the prompt challenge to work on as well. That's all I have for you today on the Ninnys News. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next week.